Jesus, why? Stop it. I'm trying to do my social media post. Stop jump scaring me. Okay. I hear you, chat. Jeez, I'm starting. Hello. Hi. How we doing? The angle of this is not quite right. In fact, I just let it also. There we go. Hello. Megacon's my friend goes to, but the Manchester one, hell yeah. Do it 10 more times. Bruh. A lot of jump scares. I have been at Megacon for the past 2 days. I was intending on only going on Saturday. But during lunch on Saturday, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a ticket for Sunday as well. And that's why I did it. That's why there wasn't a stream last night, because I would have been far too tired for going back to God today if I did that. But yeah, I have bought a bunch of things that are all sitting to the side of me. I want to show off what I got. I also want to yap about some of the things we got up to because it was a very fun time. I had a great time. Do you want the stories first, or do you want me to show you what I bought, which I've spent far too much money over the past 2 days, like genuinely a little bit of insane amount of money. Over 100 quid. I haven't added it up. I mean, if we're taking the fact that with tickets it's like 49 quid, uh, possibly. Yeah, it probably was over 100. I would add it up, but lots of the transactions are like £2 because it's like stickers. 13, 3, 12, 15, 10. Yeah, that's kind of already over 100. I've barely listed. This is W purchased. Yeah. Let's start with the things I bought because that's entertaining. On day one, most of the things that I bought, hold up, most of the things I bought were stickers, and most of them are on this binder. I bought a lot of Pokemon stickers, including a whole set of fire starters. And then there's a Gengar. Other stickers. There's a Mumbo snail. There's Life Series hearts, and the Narpy. Digital Narpy. I will yap about the Narpy gang and stuff later. But yeah. I also bought Some Minecraft stickers. Little ghast. These have a really cool texture. They have a fun texture. And little copper gallo. He's so baba. And then the last sticker which I bought is this one. I thought it was too good. It's so good. Oh my god. Stop it. That was a different one. That was the bits. Well, that was 100 bits. This is to Lucas. To Lucas right now. Hell yeah. Those are the stickers I bought, and then Frog's partner gave me this one. Little sticker. Little card sticker. It's cute. And then the sound effects are getting crazy today. And I bought a little Mumbo pin. Frog took me to a shop and said they have hermits. And I was like, oh my god, they have hermits. So I got a little Mumbo. I was between Mumbo and Joel, and Frog said Mumbo, so little Mumbo pin. And then little vampires. I bought this from somebody I met shop. Little vampire Scott. He's cute. He's very cute. I'll meet you, I'll give you a ticket mess. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And then can I save these for the story? Yeah, I'll save that for the story because that's not something I bought. That's something I was given. And then that was day one. That's day one purchases. Day two, which was today. The first shop we went to had a bunch of fidgets. So I got a bunch of fidgets. This one's my personal favorite. It's like a Tamagotchi thing. It's so cool. It's been hanging on the bottom of my access lanyard. It's just been hanging, and it's so fun to mess with. This is a little strawberry thing. It's just fun, and it's less loud. And it's just keyboard keys. Yeah, and Frog took me over to this one, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, immediately. They're fun. Wow. Oh, same shop. Little pin. And then later, maybe I should have just done this whilst I was talking about the stories because I think I have things to say and I'm gonna not say them so that I say them in chronological order. But I got some dice. They have silly goofy little bats. I don't know if you can see the top. Silly goofy little bats in them. That's so cool. Let me see if I can get one out and show you. Okay, you can't. Can you see the bat in that? You kind of can. There it is. This is only £15. They were all the other dice that were really expensive. But these are just clear resin with little bats in them, so they're not as expensive. Because I don't actually play D&D that well. I want to. My god, that one's even smaller. It's little beady eyes. Did you meet Tom Scott? I did. That is a story time. That is a story time. Where'd the lid for this go? What happened to it? What did I do with it? Huh? Oh wait, it just sits on the bottom. There we go. And then the final thing I bought was this soap. I thought it was cute. And I really like bar soaps. I don't have any. I also really don't have a dish to put this in. It also smells incredible. It smells like cherry blossoms. It's very nice. There was one that was like perfectly nice color scheme, but I didn't like the smell of it, unfortunately. It was like very red and black. Even the shop owner was like, "Oh my god, that one is you," and I'm like, "I know." Unfortunately, it's not a fragrant I like, so I did not want to buy it just because it was my colors. I had that so much, by the way. Like people being like, "Oh my god, it's black and red." With these dice as well, they were like, "Oh, is that the one with the little bats in them?" with this being what I was wearing, it was very fun. So yeah, story time. Go to IKEA, nowhere else, and buy a soup dish. I'm probably just gonna order one online. I ain't traveling around to find somewhere. I don't even know where an IKEA is near me. There must be one. It's London. There has to be one. Yeah. Storytime wise, I have not written any of this down. This is just going to be fully off the top of my head. It was very recent, so I should remember things, but there is a possibility that I forgot, because I forgot a lot. Especially anything yesterday. Today, I can probably deal with. Yesterday, I will probably gonna miss things, and then later on go, "Oh my god, guys, did I tell you this? I don't think I told you this," but we're gonna attempt to go in as chronological order as I can remember. Um, yeah, so before going to Megacon, didn't really know much about the convention. I knew it was at the XL. I knew that I had friends who usually go there, and I knew that there was a Minecraft meet. That was about it. Not gonna lie. I was just, I was just excited to hang out. Also, I didn't know that Frog was going until I think it was 9:30 a.m. and he was already at the convention. And I saw a post on his story saying he was there, and I was like, wait. Which, realistically, I should have assumed he probably would be going. I should have asked him, because he goes every year. But there was, for some reason, I thought he wasn't. Um, so that was a surprise. Um, so I got normal tickets for Saturday and Sunday when I bought them. Those you're allowed in from like 11. I got there at 10:40. So I told you just time, possibly. God knows. I got in at 10:40 because I thought there was gonna be large queues. Really wasn't. I didn't. I asked the like security guy. He's like, he looked confused. You look confused, and I was like, is there a accessibility queue? He's like, yeah, this way. Kind of pointing to just like a separate bit of the same normal queue. Really, anybody could walk through that. They weren't checking that it was specifically for access or anything. There was nobody there when I was. The other queue had about 5 people in it, and that one had none. So, sure, technically an access, nowhere was it signed to the fact that it was like an access area. But so I went through there, and then that was like bag check, and then there was another queue where it was like general, early, or weekend access. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I go in the general one because that's the tickets I have. But again, where's the accessibility? Like, how do I skip these queues? But the queue was moving so fast, and there were so little people there that I was like, okay, I don't really care to bother them and ask. Got through, realized that because it wasn't 11 yet, our section's like barrier was up, So I sat on the floor and read for 20 minutes. I brought my Maze Runner book with me because the tube was like an hour to get there. So I was just sitting on the floor, and then we got that in, and that just went really fast. Like, I didn't queue today. I also barely, I got there like bang on 11. So I was like, oh god, this is gonna be like so busy. It, like, there was a queue, but it went so fast. Like, they were efficient there. I gotta say, there really isn't much queuing. You just go in. I'm too used to it, guys. I'm too used to it. Don't waste your channel points. You gotta catch me off guard. Lucas did catch me off guard with the first one, to be fair. I was looking at my phone. I feel like I need to like switch the jump scare audio because it really doesn't have that much of an effect on me anymore unless it's like really catching me off guard. But yeah, I got in. To be fair, the con was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Because the XL is a massive place, and this was using just like one little section of it. So I thought it was going to be a lot bigger, obviously, because I'm used to people talking about TwitchCon. I haven't really heard that much about Megacon. And TwitchCon is like loads of different areas and rooms and stuff like that. The same jump scare twice. Is I need to figure out how audio alerts, whatever they're called, work. Yeah, it really wasn't that big of a convention. Like, it was just taking up like 2 little halls of the XL, which is not a lot. So I was like, damn, why do people need 2 days to walk around it? I see now that the fact that what's the place that was at XL London? I see the fact now that, like, you know, the point of the cons is being with friends and hanging out more than exploring. I mean, you're obviously exploring, but like, it doesn't need to be massive to take forever. You're just hanging out with people. But yeah, so I got in on the first day at like 11, and I was like, right, I need to figure out where the Minecraft meet is because I'm probably gonna have to queue for that. So I found that I walked over there. Immediately upon walking up, I met a couple of other people that have. That's massive. It is massive, but this was just two. So the XL has like, I want to say 12, maybe like it's in twos, maybe like 14 or 16. Um, like side bits off the main corridor. So this was taking up 2 of them. My camera's doing something. Is it tracking me? God knows. Yeah. So it was only using 2 halls. 2 little halls. Rather than like the entire place, which I thought it was gonna be at least more of it. But no, there was other stuff going on. The XL's like a massive place where loads of things happen, so there's a lot going on. And you can walk in to the like lobby without a ticket because it wasn't just for that. So you had to go to a specific area. So like, if people didn't want to go to, I was talking to Frog about this. People didn't want to go to the con. They just wanted to hang out with friends. You wouldn't have to buy a ticket. You could just sit in the like lobby area, the big corridor down the center of the XL. You could hang out there and meet people who are going to the convention. You just they checked there's wristbands that you got, and they checked the wristbands when you walked through into the like main hall thing. So yeah, that is a thing people do apparently if they're not interested in the con. They just want to spend time with friends. They can do that, but I was like, yeah, what's stopping me? Because I was confused when I walked in, and there was like nothing stopping me from walking in. I guess I technically was from actually accessing the main part of the convention. Um, yeah, then we had the Minecraft meet. That was fun. That was a good time. The people in the queue were so nice. I made a lot of friends from like the PAL community, and I was vibing with them, and like we were yapping, and I was like, oh yeah, I tested for power. I was one of the Narpies, and then they asked me for my username, and they recognized who I was, which was kind of slightly terrifying. That caught me off guard. I mean, it probably shouldn't have caught me off guard that much with them being like power fans. Like, I guess my username is around. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I made a lot of friends in that queue, and they were all really nice and so chill. Everybody was so sweet, even like people who were not like uh the group that I was standing with. They were just like next to people were just yapping across the different like the queue was like snaked around. So people were just like yapping across it and complimenting each other, and everybody was just so sweet. When we worked up, we were like really close to the front. Like I think everybody just appeared at the same time because they closed off the queue real quick. But we were like really close to the front. There was actually an access queue. I didn't go into it. I didn't know of it until a little bit later, and the people behind me kind of were like, "Oh, is that the access? Can we go in it?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, I could follow them, but I have made friends, and I kind of wanna. I don't care standing here for an hour because I just want to chat to these people now. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll just stay here." Um. So then I was yapping. I bought Pokemon cards for the sign. So then I ended up just taking out the front things out of their sleeves just because I realized that we don't have a lot of time to talk. So I took all of these ones out, gave them the 9 options. Although to be fair, we knew what they were gonna pick, the creators. Um, yeah, and then eventually, well, yeah, when we walk, when the creators first came in, it was really funny. So it was AMC, Becky, and Scott. They walked past and they were just standing around like next to the queue. Like they had no idea where they were going. So we were all pointing like over there, over there. And so that was really funny because we were just watching AMC and Vacuum just like spinning in circles, having no idea where they were going. Um and then when we actually properly got formed into a queue, one of the people I was with had made like Ames's hats, like you know the beanie with the little flower on the front. They had made like a little card flower to go on the front, so there was a whole like pointing thing going on. And AMZ was like, "Oh my god." um, yeah, eventually when we got to the front of the queue, which we weren't that far back, but it still took like 45 minutes, I want to say. Um, I walked up and I was like, I have Pokemon cards. And so all you have to say is Pokemon, and all of them are like, "Oh my god!" So this is what they saw. AMZ straight away was like, "It's me, it's Psyduck." So these slip out really easily, so they could just grab them. AMZ took Psyduck, and then Scott was like, "I need to sign your Whimsicott," which I was gonna ask him to anyway. I didn't need to even ask. He went for that immediately. And then Beck took the Eevee, which Beck was the only one that I wasn't certain on what she would go for. I possibly thought this one, the low tide, because it's a silly goofy fella. But yeah, I originally was gonna get them all of these as options as well, but it would have just taken too long. And they probably still would have gone for these ones anyway. Um, but yeah, let me try and give you a close up of these signatures. Hold up. I don't know if these will rub off if this gets too much friction, so there ain't no way I'm ever taking these out of the sleeves. Unless, to be fair, this sleeve isn't the best, the blue one, so I might. Pokemon scares me. Why? What? Because of the print. Pokemon scare you because of the print. Pokemon's so sweet. I was yapping for back a bit. um, you smiley face. Yeah, Scott's because it's a hollow card. It looks like it's gonna rub off at any second. Like, look how it's like not quite filling in every gap. Little smiley face. I put this back in the sleeve and I was like, there's just genuinely no way this sleeve is ever coming off because I have a feeling the ink's coming with it if I take it off. So it is safe and secure currently, but yeah, I was kind of I thought when I put it in the sleeve I was like, oh god, it's gonna smudge, it's gonna be dead, but it didn't. Um, no, I had a really nice conversation with them. I mentioned the fact that I was one of the Narpies, and Scott immediately went, well, I saw him like process for a second. He went, wait, you were one of the Narpies? And that was really funny to me. And he was like complimenting all the testers, which was really sweet. He was like, you guys did so well with all the bits, and like every time we did something, you were all like snappy back straight on it, like following the bits. So he was complimenting everybody so hard, which was really nice. And yeah, he's very sweet. He's as sweet as he is in all his content. Then I was saying like my favorite moment was Beck running over one of the Narpies, and I was like, I wasn't the one being run over, but I was the second one, and she was like, oh, you were the one grieving it. You were the one like you were the one who came up afterwards and was grieving the first one, and I was like, yes, that was me. So we were laughing a bit about that, and then I got a picture, many pictures. Um, yeah, it was chill. It was nice. They were very nice. I don't know why, but for me like when I meet people, when I meet like creators or musicians or something, for some reason it completely overrides my like social anxiety. I'm like so chill. Like people were like stressing and I was like, guys, they're just normal people. It was the same with the like no events VIP. Like the people I met there who were like the hardcore stressing. They were so scared. And I was like, he's just a normal guy. Like there isn't much for it. Is this a thing song? It might be. It might be. Um, like they're just people that just like us, and also they will match your energy. If you're scared, they'll be comforting. If you're energetic and excited, they'll do that. Like especially AMC. AMC's very good at that. I feel bad 'cause I didn't really talk to AMC that with there being three of them, and I was yapping about Cowboys. I didn't really talk to AMC much, but yeah, no, it was so nice. The fans are shy of minus, yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it was very nice. It was a great time. And I like meeting people in the queue, and then we walked around afterwards and we went to one of the people's shops. Um, you're a fan of people close to your age too. I wouldn't really say they're closer to my age. I mean, yeah, as well. Not those guys specifically, but I guess the some of them. Um, to be fair, the average age of I guess it's the people I talk to in the community, but I feel like my age is kind of the age of most of the Battle fans I've met, or older. To be fair, I seem to be on the younger end. Um, like they have a slightly older community. I feel like the Minecraft community in general has kind of it's like the people who grew up with watching them when they were like well for me 8, but for some people slightly younger, slightly older. Um, like that seems to the community seems to stick through. I see a lot of people being like, oh yeah, I've been watching these people for like 10 years. It's not that there isn't kids, it's just they don't have as free access to the internet to be able to like yap about it. But yeah, no, I'd say there's quite a lot of the community that's kind of on the older end, but also everybody is queer as well. And the slight issue with it, not issue, that's probably the wrong word, but the thing with people, all the people being like gender non-conforming and stuff in this community is I genuinely cannot tell how old anybody is. Like genuinely, I couldn't give you a guess for most people. And yes, the ads are short. The ads should not be long. I don't know how many ads are. Yeah, we went to somebody we met in Q's shop, which is where I got this. They were very nice. I actually bumped into them again today. They caught me so off guard. I'm not gonna lie. That conversation probably wasn't. It's like 13 before. Yeah, exactly. Probably even slightly younger than that. Exactly what I want about. It's like they could actually be like 14 or they could be like 20. I'd God knows. And because of internet safety, and these people are like people that you're more likely to talk to online than in person, probably it's best not to ask unless you know them a little bit more. Uh, just for the safety. But yeah, after that, I then went to meet up with Frog and Co. Frog, his partner, and some friends. They were all very nice. They were all very nice and very welcoming to me, which is always good. And I'm always scared meeting new people, especially when they're groups that have known each other for a long time, and I'm like, ugh. But I guess I do know Frog's partner very well, so uh, so it wasn't totally new people, but yeah. What did I do? We just immediately went out and went around Artist Alley, which Artist Alley is like the majority of Megacon. Most of it is just artist shops, which is so cool. You're just walking around. There's just things everywhere. I was like overstimulated, but in oh my god, look at that cool thing. Look at oh my god. And then there's like the people with the cosplays, and everybody's just cool. Yeah. We walked around. I mean, there's not much specifically to say about us going shopping. I've shown you what I bought. What else? What else did we do? We sat on the floor for a bit. I was eating lunch, very late lunch. I kind of flipped back and forth. I went back to the group that I met in the Minecraft queue for a little bit, and then because I split off from Frog and Co for a bit because they were like at a shop and I just wanted to walk around. And I bumped back into the other group, stayed with them for a bit until I got hungry. I left, and Frog said that they were sat somewhere, so I was like, okay, cool. I got chicken, barbecue chicken, both days. I intended to make lunch for today, but I did not get up early enough to have time to do that. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything significant because I feel like I'm skipping over a really large part of the day. But it was honestly us just hanging out. Like nothing specifically to say. I don't want to talk about people and things people were saying on stream without their like specific knowledge of me, of like or permission to yap about. So there was just a lot of things. I was learning about a lot of drama that has happened within the community. But genuinely just catching up with Frog and his partner, and because I did see them in December for the James Marriott gig, but like when you're at a gig, you can't really talk very much and like catch up. and we then now are spending 2 whole days together, so there was a lot more time to kind of catch up on things and yap and just hang out, which is exactly why I got a ticket for today, because I was like, well, I just want to spend time with Frog. I don't see him very often. If he's gonna be here, I'm gonna be here. It's not very far away from me. And I've just finished exams and stuff. Like, I have uni work, but I was like, it's fine. We've just finished exam season. It's a new semester. I'll survive not having done a little bit of work. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Most of day one was just spent walking around the shops and stuff. It was fun. It was a good time. I think I was very overstimulated, but I didn't like. How do I put this? I didn't like process the fact that I was overstimulated because everything was so exciting, and I was having a great time. So I got home and I was like, oh, I'm tired. Everything hurts. But when we went to leave, we were walking past Green and Scar cosplayers, and the Scar cosplayer was in a wheelchair also, as well as some of the people in our group. So we were like helping them out to figure out the way back on the tube. And I was on the same tube line as them for a little bit. So I also just like when they were walking past, I said, green cosplayers, crazy people, crazy creative people, like genuinely. The amount of green cosplayers I saw with the like big feathered wings. So I immediately complimented them when they walked past us. I was like, that's so cool. How I don't even know how you make wings like that. That's incredibly impressive. And yeah, they were really nice. On the tube, they gave me one of the feathers from the wings. Well, I guess the spare feathers that they've got out to give to people. Little feather, little rock, and a bun. I got trinkets. I got handed trinkets. Honestly, I don't know why that's one of my like favorite moments of the day. The fact that I was just given trinkets. Like, there's all this cool art, and it's like, you want a button and a rock? And I'm like, hell yeah! Like in the middle of the tube, people staring at us. Because although this was like quite near. There was only a few stops over from the like convention stop, so there was a lot of convention goers on the tube. It was just people, like I guess with the like green cosplay, the massive wings, and just all of us looking a little bit out of the usual. We were just being stared down, and then they were like, "Do you want trinkets?" And I just like went, "Oh my god, yes!" A little bit too loudly, and there was a lot of people staring at me. I was so excited. Um, yeah, that about sums up day one. I did have to go to Tesco at like 8 p.m. because I realized I didn't have any food in because I usually do a food shop on Saturdays. And then if I was gonna be out today, I wouldn't have been able to make dinner tonight without going to the shop before. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Tesco. It's only 2 minutes away. I'm gonna do a food shop. It was 8 p.m. I was like, oh, this is not the time to be going to Tesco. I'm really jealous. Like, oh, cool, you look, maybe you just thought I was a bit of a freak. I don't care either way. I definitely got some of those glances today. Because I went in later and it was busier. I got like, oh no. There is this kid on the tube today. A very young kid, probably like 5 or 6, who sat next to me and was just like, the for like a solid like 3 minutes. It was so funny. I was trying so hard not to laugh the entire. I was just reading my book. And I was out of the corner of my eyes, just this kid like really close to me, and I was like, "What?" The kid is just staring me down. Um, uh, no, it's good. You know what? I like it because half the time, it's people who do genuinely think you look cool, and they give you a little smile if you look back on them. I'll not at them. And the other half is just like a glance of confusion. But like, yeah. The place that I changed at was Tottenham Court Road, which is known to be a very music place, very old place. So I feel like it really shouldn't have been as crazy. Like the first day, the amount of cosplayers waiting at Tottenham Court Road for the tube was crazy. Like genuinely, the entire tube thing was just cosplayers. It was brilliant. I loved it. I walked up and I was like, I know I'm heading in the right direction. Let them say exactly. A stare is a compliment. It was just that kid. I was genuinely, I was just like, you cannot laugh. You cannot laugh with this 5-year-old just staring you down on this tube. It was the way I couldn't like look at her fully. I was just like, it was just out the corner of my eye. Oh yeah. Um, Stories from today. I got there. Uh, it took me a bit to find Frog because he wasn't checking his phone. I eventually found him, and honestly, I was so. I went into the con and I was like, maybe this was a bad idea. Why did I buy tickets for today? Because my current symptoms were going crazy. All my muscles were very sore, and I was like, oh. And I was walking around for like 15 minutes before I managed to find Frog, and I was like, oh, why am I doing this? But then, I took meds, and then met up with friends, and then kind of all that went away. Also has kicked in. Although to be fair, I did spend the majority of today sat on the floor in our little corner, um, not really talking to people and just kind of listening to the things going on around me because I was very tired. um, but yeah, to be fair, that sums up the majority of today. Then Frog and Co had to leave early because of some thing that happened, unfortunately. Then I didn't know whether to leave. Erin was there, so I went and said hi to Erin, briefly. I didn't really know. I went to find Erin not really knowing what I was doing. I was just like, you know what, if you're around, I can say hi. But she was with other people, and I did not have the energy to be like introducing myself to lots of other people and trying to like hold conversations like that. There was no energy left for yapping, not even yapping, but just like unfamiliar people, if you get what I mean. It's a lot more strenuous on me holding a conversation with somebody I don't know than just talking to a friend. Um, and it was like 2 p.m. Um, the thing ends at 5, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wander around, find things to buy, which is what I bought. These I'd seen this soap shop when I first met up with Frog on day one. I didn't buy anything because it was incredibly busy. It was always incredibly busy, but I finally found the space to actually stand there for a bit and eventually buy something. Um, they were inspired by some anime characters, I think. It doesn't really matter, it's a soap. I didn't really know the characters, I just pointed to it and went, that can I have that one? I will say, I don't think, like, I am very anxious when I talk to people. I will say that I really did not feel that as strongly whilst I was at the convention, because everybody, like, people have shared interests because they're there, and everybody's just so nice. People will just walk up and compliment you, and they're just a vibe. Um, so yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be in that sense. Like, I thought I'd find it a lot harder to talk to people, but it does help that the first people I walk up to, like, were like PAL fans in the Minecraft queue, and I was like, well, I can definitely app to you. It's like Bannerfall starting tomorrow. That was the main topic of conversation, of course. Um, like, they were the person's stall, the person that we met stall. They had like voting. It was like place trinkets and voting for which of the two teams, red or blue, that you think was gonna win the SMP. Um, I genuinely don't know which creators are on which. People had analyzed it and like figured it out, they think. Um, I didn't have any trinkets with me, so I couldn't vote. But the person who voted for our group voted blue, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, that was fun. I didn't struggle talking to people as much as I thought I would. I'm just generally quite a quiet person, so people will see me kind of sitting there not really saying anything and be like, "You alright?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not really too much of a yapper." Um, Especially when I don't really know people. It genuinely is like, I don't know whether it's something I need to work on or not. As a content creator, is not being much of a yapper a slight issue. It's something I've always thought. It's the fact that I'm like quite introverted and very shy, an issue for content creation. Um, but I think I find it a lot easier online than I do in person, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. Yeah. What else? What else? What else? Oh, D&D. After I walked around and bought stuff for a bit, I had a little bit of a lull where I was just like, I could go home and do things. Um, so I wasn't really with anybody, and I didn't have anything specifically to do. I had explored the entire convention and bought too many things. Um, so I sat on a stage where there was people talking about streaming and like getting into streaming and specifically playing games. I think the two creators that were on there were specifically Pokemon streamers. Uh, it was interesting. I was a little bit bored. I kind of felt bad because nobody was really paying attention to them. They were yapping, and the people that were sitting there were just kind of on their phones because it's like one of the only seating areas in the entire, like in the main con area. So it's just kind of people's rest spots, and people were coming and going. So I did feel kind of bad that they were just kind of hosting a panel to nobody. Though there's a couple of people who seemed like they were there for them. But I was like, I'm gonna chill here until the D&D, and then I'm gonna go to the D&D, and if I'm still not feeling like I want to be here after like 15 minutes, I'll leave. But I'm so glad I saved for the D&D panel because it was genuinely so funny. Um, I've seen people go to the like no dice one at TwitchCon, and I was just like, well, if it's anything like that, it's gonna be good. Um, they had so much like audience interactions when we walked up. Um, they were like, does anybody want to like write down funny NPC names and we'll draw them out throughout the thing? Uh, which they were drawing them out like left, right, and center. They were like, "This is the fastest we've ever gone through NPC names." Um, and then they had like a massive dice that they rolled for like big things, like inflatable dice that they rolled down the aisles of the seats. Um, they were allowing heckling. There was three guys at the front that were very odd. I'm just gonna put it out there. Uh, they were, yeah, they were trying to keep the show like PG-13 because like Megacon is a place where kids can go. And it was right next to the kids zone as well. So they were trying to keep it PG-13. Some members of the audience were making it very hard on them. To be fair, they were also making jokes that were not, I would not quite say a PG-13. I guess if you're like an innocent child and you didn't know what those things meant or like what the innuendo was, I guess that's fine. But I was like, this is very much. But like, if I was a parent in this situation, I would take my kids away from it. But it was very funny, and they were. It's not D&D if there isn't like a little animal they get obsessed with and derails the entire thing. There was the story included like a little rubber duck that one of the characters stole, and then they took it to this healer man, which was like the main villain of the story. It was only 2 hours, so it was a very fast paced like little story. You kind of got where the ending was gonna go quite quickly, but I mean it kind of has to be when you only have 2 hours. um this guy who had like magical touch, which you can imagine the phrase like touching people. Yeah, that's how it became very much not PG-13. Um, and then the guy touched the rubber duck and it became a real duck. That derailed the entire thing again. Then that duck became a fighter, and led an army. It was a really good show. There's some clips of it on my Instagram stories because I recorded the occasional thing. What I could not seem to capture in recordings was everybody chanting quack quack quack. There was only like I want to say like 50 people at this thing, but it was so fun. It was hilarious. They were very good. If I can, I got their Instagram tell you who they are because they have a podcast and that episode will be on the podcast. Um, let me see if I can. Uh, it's Your Role Show. That's their name. They do D&D podcasts. Um, and like a lot of live shows. They go around conventions like this doing live shows. They were very funny. Do recommend. Um, hold up. If I mute my phone, I can show you the answer. These guys. I'm assuming the show I went to will be on the Spotify soon. If you're interested, I think it's all the same characters. They kind of explore. I don't know. Actually, it didn't seem like they got introduced to each other at the very start. I have no idea how the rest of the shows work. Um, but if you ever see them at any live things, they are good. Go watch. That was about it. I left after that. Well, to be fair, the thing was ending, like straight after that. And I came home. I came home and I had watermelon in the fridge that I bought yesterday. I ate it and then I spilled watermelon juice all over my bedding, which is why I was late because I had to put that in the wash and then also organize all my stuff from con and um all of like make dinner and stuff and wash up and stuff all like in between the wash and the dry cycles of my bedding. I could have put the other one on, but I had to wait. Like it had gone through onto the mattress protect. Like I genuinely don't know how this happened. I just kind of looked down and there was like watermelon juice everywhere. I was so tired. I probably wasn't. thinking properly and just placed it down wrong. But I had to wait for the matches to dry, so I was like, I'll just put the same bedding on. But it was not what I needed at the end of the day. I was so tired. I was like, I don't want to deal with the laundry room right now and spend more money. More money. I spent too much money this weekend. Cutting into my TwitchCon savings. Possibly. Maybe not. Student loans. Who needs to actually buy like food and stuff off student loans when you can buy things like this? I have been messing with this entire time. I really like this. I didn't realize it was a strawberry until I got home, actually. I think that shows how incredibly overstimulated I was that I looked at this and went, oh, it's just got a bunch of different colors on it. Money for laundry, yeah. £5. £5 because I accidentally spilled watermelon juice on my. In fact, more than £5. I'm an idiot, chat. uh, it wasn't on my bedding. It wouldn't have been an issue. I would have just like washed it off. I mean, I got some on this, and it washes off so easy. It's watermelon juice. It's pretty much just water, because it was on like 3 different parts of my bedding. And I was like, okay, I can't really just like take this sheet off and shove the other one on it and deal with it another time. I've got to actually fix it. Yeah. I walked through that door, and the second I walked in this door coming back from the convention, I realized how sore my muscles were. Like I laid here and then I got back up. It takes it to the washing, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to move. I don't know. I'm not. I like my body is not adjusted. Uh, I guess this is like even more than normal, but like uni is usually quite a lot, and like it was like Christmas and then exams, which were realistically quite like stationary period. I wasn't going anywhere, so my body was just adjusting this week to being back at uni and having to like walk around, travel around London all day. And then I go to a convention where I have to walk around all day. So it was just like, boom, here's like more activity. Boom, here's like hyperactivity. And now my body is just like screaming. Um, that being said, I do have class at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I do have to be up at like 7. Ugh, don't want to go, chat. Why does uni have to exist? Don't want to go. Let me go hang out with my friends all the time. Want to go to uni. Not at 9 a.m. at least. If it was like 2 p.m., that would be great. Rest. I can't rest. I have to go to uni. The thing is, like, everybody is like, oh, yeah, what are you doing, like, the weekend after exams? Technically, the weekend after exams was last weekend, but because we had an extra exam, that was like in classroom because it was a computer-based exam, which went really well, by the way. My programming exam went really well. That was Monday morning, so technically this is the weekend after exam. This is my opportunity to relax, and I was laughing when people were like, yeah, you're like having a nice relaxing weekend, and I turn around and go, no, I'm going to a convention. Yeah, I'm going to a big convention where I'm gonna use like all the energy I don't have. It was in some way like a rest because I got to spend it with friends, and I think it's a mental reset, but not a physical one in the slightest. And I'm now thinking, yeah, I'm not gonna have the chance to like rest and actually uh let my body heal itself until next weekend. And next weekend is my 1 year and 2. I'm probably not going to be resting that much. I'm going to be filming that, but it's like a rest for. And next Sunday, a week from today, it's my 1 year and 2. I'm not doing anything to celebrate it specifically. Um, I don't really have people here who would be interested in that. I don't think. Interested in going out and celebrating with me. But I'm sure I'll have a nice evening. I mean, I'll be streaming in the evening, so you guys will see me. Maybe we can throw a party here. I don't know what we do to do that, but maybe we could. Maybe a live Q&A. No, I've tried to do that before, and nobody showed up, and it was really awkward. So I would probably not do that again. 1 year. It snuck up on me, not gonna lie. I wanted to have the video like prepared and ready to go out on the day. The likelihood that that's gonna happen is so low. Like I think I was saying on Thursday, yeah, there was definitely going to be a video this weekend. There would have been had I not gone back to con. I actually sat at like 11 p.m. last night editing. The rough draft is fully done now. It's like 30-minute long video. But it needs so much more adding to it. I'm no longer happy with uploading just rough drafts to my main channel. It needs proper editing. It's gonna have chapters, little tighter cut chapters, mumbo jumbo-esque chapters, which I need to draw. And I need to like edit it neater because it's there's a lot of just in it. But I'm not very good at that. That's not my strong suit. I'm really bad at like making things feel smooth and connected. Any video you've seen from me in the past like year most likely was edited by Lucas to make it look good.
Transit redeemed TTS and says if you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 61016.
Oh, why did it
We'll
say it
sort
like
it.
that?
See it. Say it. Sorted.
It ruined it by saying it like that. TTS, me too. TTS is fun. It gives you guys like a different way of interacting. So I feel like I look very red today, and I think it's just because my main monitor screen is like red, and because it doesn't have a game on it, it's just very, so very warm in here. It's hella warm. I'm so glad I have fidgets though. That was like the one thing that I like was like I do actually need to buy, because I've had the same flippin', where is it? This guy for so long. Since like year 7. And this has been like my only fidget for ages. So when I saw the fact that there was fidget and Frog was kind of showing me them, I was like, yes, please. Gotta go, bye transit. Bye bye. Have a good rest of your night. Or just good night if you're going to sleep, it's quite late. I'm not gonna be live that much longer because I am tired. I've had a very long weekend. But no, I did want to do like Calcium stuff this weekend, but it's just not gonna happen. Ain't no way I'm staying live that much longer, especially with class at 9 a.m. But I will be live on Tuesday. It will be live on Tuesday. That will happen. Tuesday stream. The schedule. Actually, I haven't strayed from the schedule for this weekend. I just missed Saturday. That will probably be Catching. That reminds me, I both need to do like uni work and Java coding for the MCE group. I extended the deadline for like getting up to a certain like video tutorial we're following by a week, and then I still haven't done it myself. I hadn't done it myself previously. I still haven't. And I don't have very long to do that, but Tomorrow is going to be like a day of catch up. Despite the fact that I have a 9 a.m. class, and that class is 4 hours, most of my day is free because that class is so early that even being 4 hours, it ends at like 1. Or the last time it was only 1 hour, and this is still an introduction. It's just an introduction to the software I already know how to use. I did a whole A level on it. So realistically, it's gonna be a really boring, really early class for me. Well, I found a different way to use this fidget. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be really boring. A couple hours. I really doubt it will go on 4 hours, and if it does, I'm gonna be like crying by the end of it. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end it. I've been out for an hour, which is kind of surprising for me. Usually I get to like half an hour in these just chatting streams, and I'm like, I don't know what to say anymore. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave this here. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Also, being at that con made me realize that I just completely abandoned Pokemon Legends EA. I just didn't. I just stopped playing it. So if you want to see more of that, let me know, and I will continue playing it on stream. If you don't want to see more of it, also let me know, and I will play it off stream. Although I never have time to play anything off stream, so I probably won't play it if it's not on stream. I also should probably play more Hytale at some point. There's too much going on, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. I also got announced for an event earlier. Solar Skirmish. The Sturms game night, like Solar Skirmish. Hold up, where's my team? I don't know where this Discord is. My brain isn't functioning well enough for me to like pick out where this Discord is. Where is it? I genuinely don't know. Huh. It's lost to the abyss of random Discord servers. I hit the max yesterday and I had to close them out. I genuinely cannot find this. I wanted to say my team. Oh, there. Sounds game night. I am on the yellow team, Golden Gadwalls, and I am playing with Love from Nyx. I do not know how to pronounce her name. How do I pronounce that name? Degaste, I want to say. Sturm. I am on a team with Sturm, which will be really fun. I feel like I haven't actually played. Have I been on a team with Sturm before? I have no idea. And Marble Heart Eve. It will be a good time. I've never played in Solar Skirmish either, I don't think. So, I don't know much about the event, but I'm pretty sure it's a minigame event. It'll be good. It's on the 7th of February, so not next weekend, but the weekend after. 2 weeks. No, not quite. It's a Saturday. Saturday the 7th. Yes. It'll be a good time. These events always are. Yeah. I'm gonna find somebody to raid. Who we raiding? Who's getting raided today? I don't know if that many people will be live. There's the silly awards, isn't it? I guess that doesn't affect small streamers. Wade's live? I haven't raided into Wade for a very long time. Wade's not usually live this late. Let's raid. Yeah. Wade is playing Skyblock by the looks of it. Yeah. I will see you guys on Tuesday at 9 p.m. GMT.